Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the thing show that proves without a shadow of doubt that the so called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. And I just want to take a few minutes today to point out something that, we have to pay attention to and look at, things as they happen or what we think are cool and whatnot, because a lot of times our drives are being controlled by other forces. And I just want to take a little time to show that to you today, how that's done, and how we never should be getting caught up in what is presented to us because there's always something behind it that's going to get you later on. So check this out. Let's get into this story. Now, you guys have all heard about the Black Beach in in Los Angeles, Manhattan Beach, Bruce Beach in Southern California. It's been a big story. It probably what this past summer, something like that, 6, 7 months ago. But anyway, in a surprising, check this out. In a surprising turn of events, the Bruce family has decided to sell the beachfront property they'd recently reclaimed back to the California county that seized it, per the Los Angeles Times. Charles and Willa Bruce were driven out of their resort by the Ku Klux Klan and racist real estate agents in 1924. Let's put a pin in it right there and pay attention to this. This is the same thing, probably what happened to your grandmothers and grandfathers, great grandmothers and grandfathers. And see, we don't talk about it. We try to act like it didn't happen, and it did. That's why a lot of the negative stuff you've seen today is stemmed by those turn of events. And this happened in California. You can imagine what was going on in the South and in the Midwest and all these other places that are rarely talked about. See, we just hear about the South, but it went on everywhere. So this is a little pick me up for you. You can take this out and study and find out what happened to your family, where your people were living in certain areas that are now making multi millions of dollars. Now their descendants are rightfully banking the beach profits. Basically, what this story is saying, these cats, the city of Manhattan Beach, valued this land at $75 million. These cats sold it back to the city for a third of that, $20 million. Now, I know many of you are saying, what the fuck? Yeah, they sold it back to the city of Manhattan Beach for $20 million. That's what this whole article is about. It's in here. They tell you that they sold it back for $20 million. You see it right here. According to LA List, the property was estimated to be worth $75 million. However, upon the transfer agreement, LA County agreed to buy it back for just a third of that price. One must wonder, why sell back the land you fought so hard to get back? So let me get this, because here's another thing that I want to talk about that really like it has to piss you off. This is in Los Angeles. I mean, I think they charging $2,000 for a closet for rent in Los Angeles right now. They putting up all this LA rent. I mean, the prices are skyrocketing. And yeah, it's fake. It's not real. Oh, the crash soon come. But where this person is on the beach, why would you take so low? Why would you Why would you give the city a deal? Why wouldn't you? I mean, you could make $20 million off a year off of what you could put there. It's in a cool part of Los Angeles. Now, LA beaches aren't really that nice, but I mean, you by the beach. How does this happen? How do things like this happen? And we got to start asking ourselves so we'll stop being took by the same old dumb shit every time. Now check this out. Now, I want you guys to look at this and tell me what you think just by looking. You don't know none of these people. You just tell me what you think and how this stuff happens. Let's check this out. Okay, so the brother from the left, he's the great great grandson of Charles and Willa Bruce. Charles and Willa Bruce are the grandparents. We'll just call them grandparents from here out. They the one who got their land snatched. This is the great great grandson. Next to him is his wife. Next to her is uh, Ch- Chief Dwayne Yellowfeather Shepherd and Mitch Ward. And the lady in the front, she looks like one of those people who, for people who can't hear sign language. This is the family that sold the land back to the city of Manhattan Beach for $20 million. Do you think that they were represented, whoever their representatives were, because everybody got to have some kind of agent? Were they represented correctly? I want to ask you guys that because, you know, I have a lot of people that listen to me. I just want to make sure that I'm not crazy. To sell, and this picture is on the beach. Remember, the land part isn't on the beach. I'm gonna show you where that is in a minute. But this is how games are played, and you, the public, this is how your thoughts are manipulated because you thinking one thing and it's something totally going on. Now, do you think for them to sell what I'm about to show you in this part of California, this part of the beach, to sell it back for a third of what the city said it was worth? The city said it was worth $75 million. Dollars. They sold it back to them for 20 million. Explain that. Explain that. Were these people represented properly? No. So let's take a look because this is what happens to us. Think we get an education, we integrate it into an ideology and a way of life that has been damn. Do you think these people were represented properly? We got one cat saying the dream team. The sister in the middle is dressed in her African garb. The brother in the back is throwing up the black power, whatever that is. Do you think these people were represented properly? This is how we're made to look all over the world. This will be headlines and papers in India, Korea, Iran, Iraq, because this is what the world is shown of the American Negro. So, all right, so that's them. So, do you think they were represented properly? I mean, sir, what do you guys say? No. Chief Kitchie say no, they were not. I mean, damn, 20. Do you know? So check this out. So now we're gonna look at the property, but I also want to give you a little caveat with it. The environment, the environments that we're in, the environments that we put ourselves into sometimes is not in our best interest. So I want to show you guys something about California because every time you hear about California, you hear about how great it is and all that bullshit. But really, California, period, Los Angeles, it's a desert. First and foremost, before any of that shit you got painted on top of it, it's a desert. It has no water. It has no water. So the place you may be in, you may have mountains, streams, all kind of things that collect the water as it rains, as the snow melt to deliver water to the population. LA don't have none of that. None of that. So I want to show you guys something about LA, and this is important because the well-being of the people, that's what's, important to me. We can't be trying to wear glasses and diamonds and all this stuff that they market to us. You're on this planet for a reason. You're living, and keep putting yourself in, these death defying situations is crazy. And this is what we're doing. So I want to show you, this is a map of Los Angeles. They call this South Bay. Los Angeles, you see, the Los Angeles airport is at the top. You got North Hollywood and all that stuff north of that, but this is kind of South LA. So you see where Manhattan Beach is, and right here is called Dockweiler Beach. This is the beach where that is designated for the Negroes. Basically, it's delegated for the Negroes. Why? Because first of all, it's right at the airport. Imagine chilling on the beach and you got planes landing every 2 minutes, taking off every 2 minutes. The Negro has gotten used to it. He'll take whatever. But what's important about this place is, oops, I'm sorry. Let me get this back. What's important about this place, and you have to check out, is right here, right here, right across the street from the beach, right here. This right here is called a hyperboreum or something like that. It's called a hyperboreum. And what it does, every time you flush your toilet in LA, it comes down here. The shit is spun. These little things right here, these are the size of buildings. These are huge balls. They spin all the shit, vomit, period, blood, whatever's in the toilet, throw that shit out to the ocean, which is right across the street, right there. Can I get a witness? Right there. And treat the water and send it right back to the city. Anybody got another idea of how it's done? Please share it. So the Bruce Beach is right down the street from there. So what I'm saying about that is the water, and everybody knows, everybody who's been to California, the beaches are shit. They're horrible. And you can see it. You can see that shit in the water. You can see it. I mean, I'm sure they treat it, make it smell good, put all these additives in it, but it is what it is. So these are the cats who are right down the street. Manhattan Beach is right next to that beach, and this is where Bruce Beach is. Now, I had to give you that real because a lot of times we think something is great because it's marketed that way, because we're told it's that way, because we believe it's that way, but it's really not like that. See, these waters are contaminated. And when you live around contaminated stuff like that, you become contaminated. I mean, it's simple. It's simple. So check out this. Bruce Beach because I want to show, you know, That's the real what I just explained to you about you know, cleaning up the water and sending out the shit out to sea. That's the real. And we have to know these things because we'll be living in all this stuff. So let's check out this Bruce Beach and where it is and what it could be done could have been done there, because this is the real, this is how we're always taken. And remember, these stories are sent all over the world. All these immigrants coming over here are coming from cities that get this type of stuff, and it shows how we are, how we think, how we believe, how we feel. Everybody knows this part of Los Angeles is a high-end part. $20 million, and you're 3 blocks away from the beach. You could have built with all the know-how you have in Los Angeles. I'm talking about the indigenous people there. Many of them don't know they're indigenous. They're Los Angelian now. Trust me. With all the know-how, with all the genius you have in Los Angeles, you couldn't have figured out something that made this place $20 million a year? Yeah, 3 blocks from the beach. With all those African American, black, Negro, couldn't have came up with nothing to make that place pop down there. That's what you call African Americans, ladies and gentlemen. All they see is money. And the only thing you can do with money is buy what somebody sell you. And then you just throw that in the closet because you only play with it for a couple of days. The whole setup behind this, the whole lesson behind this is how you're taken. This is how the world sees you. What happened to those people in California happened to most of you. You don't want to look at it. You don't want to, you're not feeling it. Most of this happened to many of you, many of your families. That's why I started it off with that. This happened to many of your families. And you ran to Los Angeles and, hadn't looked back yet. Giving your energy and what you're seeing with that, selling it back for $20 million. Check out the energy transference in that, transferring energy. 100 years, 99 years. Many of you can't go back 99 years to where you're from. And I'm sure the same things happened because these people were moving west. This is why it's important to get with your families. You get with all these other groups that are not your family, and it breaks you down. You should notice this by now. Yeah, Lisa. So yeah, way more than $75 million. The city told them it was worth $75 million. And like I said, anybody who's been to Manhattan Beach in California knows that that place is worth way more than that. And this is what I'm saying. People make you feel like you're not worth, dude, huh? People try to make you feel like you're not worth it by calling you black, by calling you a slave. And so, what do you say you are? That's the thing. Later for what other people say you are, because they gonna say whatever they say you are is to make them feel good and to make you feel bad. And I don't know how we don't even know this yet. We act like that ain't the truth, and it is. So listen, that's all. That's what I wanted to share. The city said $75 million. You say it's $20 million. Who's telling you to? Who's giving you advice? And how don't nobody ain't got to give you no advice on that. You got to be smarter than that. And this right here case goes to show you that we're not. You can put on all the makeup you want. You can make yourself whatever you want, but you're being made an ass out of. Trying to be all this that we not. This is the kind of stuff that happens. So I'm not trying to hold up your afternoon. I just want to share that with you. But check out that story about Bruce Beach. And after you finish vomiting, share it with somebody else. You guys have a good day. Peace.